I'm going to discuss about RabbitMQ working mechanism, how it just created, how it listens to one message, and how it produces. So we'll see the complete flow. So for seeing the complete flow, I have implemented three things. So in Amazon, this CloudAMP server, I have created one free account and I have taken little number account, and there I have uh, created one online hosted RabbitMQ instead of doing my local setup. From here, I will produce a message and listen to this message. And I have created two applications, one producer and one listener application. Producer will produce or create a message which will be sent to the RabbitMQ, and listener will listen to that RabbitMQ topic or exchange. So we'll see how I created this exchange. So in this, I have created one account. In that account, I have created one email server in Amazon Web Services, AP South 1 region. And there I have taken RabbitMQ and I have taken this little lemur plan, which is a free plan. And when I created that, I got these details. AMQP details, password, username, ports, URL, which will be used in my application for doing the configuration so that my application should be connected to this online hosted or cloud hosted RabbitMQ. So benefit of this online hosted RabbitMQ is that we no need to manage the queue in my local. This it will manage for me. So I only need to do the configuration and create my exchange name and queue name. So once I'll go to RabbitMQ Manager, I'll come here. So we have all these tabs here. So I have exchange, queues, and streams. So these two are our main concern. So in that exchange, we can create one exchange here by adding a new exchange. I can give a name something like order.email, and I can create here. So order.email, one more exchange got created. You can see this is a new, so we need to bind it to a queue. So we'll create a queue also for this new exchange which I created. So order.email dot queue. So one new queue is queue got created. So it's running. Order.email.queue, it's running, it's up and running. Now we need to bind this queue with this exchange. So order.email, I'll click on this. I'll give a queue, which queue it should be binded. So it should be order.email.queue. Routing key will be order.email. And I'll click on bind. So it will bind with the queue. So bind is successful. So this exchange binds to order.email routing key to this queue, order email.queue. So if we click on this, we'll land here. So at this moment, there is a exchange got created. So these are all the older exchanges which is created. With that, we can do the connection and read and write operation. So in my application, I'm using order.exchange. This one to do my task. So I have created two Spring Boot application. We'll see the two Spring Boot application. So this is producer application. One more Spring Boot application I have created is listener application. Producer application will send or publish a message or produce a message to the RabbitMQ. It will send a message to the RabbitMQ, and listener application will listen to that RabbitMQ exchange or topic, and it will consume the message from there. And if the receiver or the listener application is down, the message which is published by the publisher application, it will be stored in the queues in RabbitMQ, online hosted RabbitMQ. We'll see the code configuration. So we have one config package. Inside that we have config class. So this is a standard config class or configuration which is given by the RabbitMQ documentation. We can see here as well. So here we'll have this configuration. We need dependency, Spring Boot starter dependency. In application.properties, we need to set up this variables which we have got in our application here, RabbitMQ, online hosted RabbitMQ, which we need to set in our application. And then we need to do this binding, queue and exchange binding. We'll see. So this is the queue, RabbitMQ, queue name we need to give here. Then X topic or exchange name we need to give here. And this binding between queue and exchange we need to do here using this routing key. So this is the routing key, this is queue name, and this is exchange name, which I created here. So exchange name from here, these are the exchange names. Then here we have routing key as well, and these are the queue. So these queues, and in the binding we'll get the exchange name. So with these three parameters, we'll do the connection, and in application.properties, we have complete address of the RabbitMQ, which is hosted in Amazon Web Services, and this is my application is running on this. Now configuration is done. We'll see the listener class. So listener class listens. Sorry, we're going to the publisher first. So we'll go to the producer or publisher. So we have taken Rabbit template and we have done the auto-var annotations. From Rabbit template, we'll get convert and send function, which will send the message to this exchange using this routing key. So we need to give three parameters, exchange name, routing key and message. Then it will send the message to the RabbitMQ. For testing whether this message is sent or not, I have wrote a simple test controller which calls this send message function. So order ID which is passed through the controller is sent to the queue. So we'll test this. So it is running on port number 8080. I'll stop this application. So it's running on 8080. I'll send a message like 102 order ID. So it is successful, means message is successfully published to RabbitMQ. So this is the exchange order.created.queue. So one message is ready and it is stored in the queue. If we want to see the message, we can see here. We'll go to this queue. So one message is ready. Total one message is there. If I click on get message, I'll see this. Order ID 112 created successfully. Now I'll send one more message. Order ID 113. It is sent successfully. It is 200. Now I'll have two messages here. So we'll refresh this. So now there are two ready messages in this queue, which is not yet consumed. So until and unless it is not consumed, it will be here. So I'll see both the messages here. So message 1 is order 112 created successfully, order 113 created successfully. So now it's time to listen to this message from this queue. So we'll go to listener service. So RabbitMQ configuration again we need to do here. So in this RabbitMQ configuration, we'll have queue name, which we created. Again, exchange name, order.exchange, and binding. Binding, we need to bind this queue and exchange using this RabbitMQ. Now this listener class will listen to the queue. So the listener class have created one receive message service. So this receive message, what it does, it adds into a queue, concurrent link queue, and it accumulates all the messages from the queue. We have set a limit. We can set how many we want. So in the listener, we have this queue name and message. So this message automatically reads message from the queue, rabbit, from this annotation. So it get connection is established, and it keeps on reading the messages one by one and keeps on adding into the store, and it gets stored in this queue. Now I have created a small controller to see the message received from the RabbitMQ. So this is get receive message get all functions. So message store dot get all. So in this queue, it all the things are stored, all the messages are stored. Get all will print me all the values or all the messages which are there. So now I'll start this application. Here also in application.properties, we need to pass the address, and this will in pom.xml we need this AMQP dependency for doing RabbitMQ configuration and connection. So application is up and running. We'll test this. So this application is listener services running on 8181. We'll send this get call. So 113 and 112, which we sent earlier to RabbitMQ, and we'll see what is there now. So here it is consumed. So now we have 0 values. Here 0 messages in the queue. Because listener service is continuously listening. We'll send one more. It says here send. And now we'll receive here. So we'll see 114 is coming now. So it is producing, and this listener service is consuming continuously. And here we have nothing because it is consumed, and the listener service is up and running. Once the listener service is down, if we will make this listener application down, then that messages will be stored in the RabbitMQ and it will be consumed in future. So if I send to here like 115 new messages, one more will send. So now listener service is down. So this 2 data will be stored here. So we can see here we have 2 data, and we'll see the details of the 2. So we have 115 and 116. 2 messages are stored in the queue because listener service is down. So this is the complete flow how RabbitMQ setup and configuration will work. I'll post it. That's all. Thank you.